Hey guys, so I haven't done a video for 2 weeks, and that's because I went back to my mother's place, and yeah, I wanted to do a video today about anxiety. I saw that It's My Ray Ray did a video about it, and she had she still kind of has it, like anxiety, and hers is kind of similar to mine. She did a 50 facts about me video, and like in her video she's talking about how like she always thinks like she's gonna die if she feels like any like little bit of pain or anything like that. And I used to be like that. As far as the anxiety goes, I've always felt like I had like different levels of it, or like in different stages of my life I've had different like stages of anxiety. In the past, when I was younger, like in middle school, I don't think I was an anxious person like at all. But I did notice like the summer before I started high school, that's when I started having it. And back then there was like no YouTube or no like real platform to kind of explain what I was dealing with. So I kind of just felt like whatever I was thinking was exactly what it was, and I only lived in my body, and I didn't know anybody else who had that kind of situation happen to them. So I'll tell you basically what it was. In the summer before high school, I was home alone a lot, so I don't know what happened. Like my mind probably just started playing tricks on me, but I started feeling like I was gonna die. Like it's funny to me now because like, wow, it was really ridiculous, but back then I really thought like I was going to die and I wasn't gonna make it to see 20. I'm 24 now, but for some reason in my mind I just kept thinking like, oh my god, like there's a sharp pain in my stomach, I'm gonna die. And they have a term for it now, which is, no, they've always had a term for it, which is called hypochondria. Is it hypochondria? You know what it is. What is it? Hypochondria. So I would tell my mother and my brother this, and they all thought I was crazy.
You told me?
Yeah, I told you. I told everybody. I told my mother was the one who was just like not having it. She just thought I was crazy. She just thought I was home too much and that I didn't have friends, which at the time, not gonna lie, didn't have friends. Like my friends from middle school, we didn't stay in touch when I was about to start high school, so I really didn't have nobody to hang out with. So I was home alone and in my brain a lot and thinking like stuff was happening to me. When I actually started high school, I was still feeling like I was gonna die. Like I was gonna die. And then one day, this could have been like the laws of attraction or whatever, but I was watching this program on TV. It was like an infomercial, and it was basically people talking about basically what I had, where they thought they were gonna die, or it was hard for them to wake up in the morning and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my god, this is what I've been going through. And then I told my mother about it, and she was just like, oh, just pray and stuff like that, which prayer is good, but like if you're in a negative like mind frame a lot, it's very hard to believe in what you're praying for. So the infomercial came, and they were talking about, oh, we'll give you a free booklet if you call this number, or this free disc if you call this number. So I called the number, and I was like talking on the phone. I was like, oh, and I was explaining to them my symptoms, and they were really sweet. They were really like kind to me, but because of my anxiety, I felt like they thought I was crazy, so I just hung up the phone. And like 2 or 3 weeks later, they sent me the disc anyway, and I thought it was so sweet. So I saw the DVD. This, like I said, this was before YouTube, so like YouTube is like easy, like you could just type in anxiety and you'll see a whole bunch of videos on it. But back then you didn't have YouTube, so I listened to the audio, and basically it was the same things that I was going through, feeling like I was gonna die, feeling nervous, feeling like I didn't want to wake up, feeling like I didn't want to go outside because I was afraid what would happen if I go outside. Like it was bad. And so when I started high school, when I figured out that there were people out there who had the kind of same symptoms I did, I felt a little bit more at ease with dealing with it, with dealing with my anxiety. And so I also made a friend who told me she had the same exact feeling. Like she was like, yo, I think about that too, like all the time, like I'm gonna die. And I also made another friend who was like telling me that he had the same feeling. So I kind of felt like the laws of attraction and stuff like that, I was pulling people to me who had that who had that same energy. This stage of my life is different. Now I'm dealing with social anxiety, and it's hard. It is hard when I'm a reserved person. I take pride, I'm quiet, maybe a little shy. So it's hard for me when you suffer with social anxiety. It's hard to connect with people. Even if you really want to connect with them, it's hard to connect with people. So I'm at this stage in my life where the anxious thoughts about death and all that stuff is kind of like gone. And I'll tell you this, if you are dealing with the anxiety, the obsessive thoughts, or even the anxiety of social anxiety, just know that you are not alone. And I feel like when you feel like in your heart that you're not alone, then you don't feel as weird or as out of pocket or as, rejected from society. I feel like when you know that, you can kind of take steps towards building a more positive outlook on it, because I feel like there's nothing wrong with being socially awkward. Like some of the most successful people, like you can tell, are socially awkward. Honestly, I think The Office is a socially awkward show, and that show did amazing for how many years? So if you really look at it that way, you won't feel as weird, And I feel like when you're socially awkward, it's usually because you're not like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You don't laugh at the same jokes that everybody else laughs at. And if you focus on your social anxiety as like somewhat of a burden and it holds you back from meeting and learning new things, if you look at it that way, then you will remain in a space, in a mind frame where it's constantly just negative. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it in a more positive light, like, oh yeah, sometimes I can be awkward and quirky and whatever, then it makes you that much more lovable, relatable. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with being socially awkward. Not everybody should be your friend anyway. Not everybody is gonna think you're cool anyway, even if you're not socially awkward. So if you make it a point to love who you are as a person, by yourself, even though you don't possess some of the personality traits that popular people possess. If you love yourself, even though you are not exactly like everybody else, you will attract the right kind of people who love that kind of personality. Because honestly, if you're an anxious person, I don't necessarily think that there's a way to stop being that way. I feel like a way to kind of calm your nerves is just know that you're not alone, one. Two is owning up to the fact that you are that way and learning to deal with it, and not really being ashamed of being socially awkward or having social anxiety. You can work around being a shy person, being a quiet person, being a reserved person, not necessarily being a people person. You can work around it and still meet people, still build relationships with people. Just know that when you are that way, you don't really, if you're that way, that you're not gonna get along with everybody. And who really wants to get along with everybody anyway? Right, Stu? Yeah. But, just still be a loving person, be an open person, laugh, and stuff like that. Don't take life too seriously, even though that's harder said. That's easier said than done. It's normal to have thoughts like that, and I still have it. Not necessarily like how the death part, but social anxiety. I get nervous talking around big crowds and stuff. But honestly, at the end of the day, I notice me when I'm sitting in the crowd watching somebody talking, I'm not thinking about, oh, she looks stupid, why is she talking in front of people? Like I said, one, know that you're not alone. Two, work around it, own up to it, and learn to like it. Cause I like that I'm a bit socially awkward. It doesn't make me feel like a suck up, honestly. I don't kiss nobody's ass, but 3, and just, you know, like that about you, like learn to love that part about you. And I mean, regardless, you can make friends if you're awkward or if you're an open person. It doesn't matter. You could be an introvert, extrovert, and still make friends. Just don't be ashamed of being that way, or shy, or awkward, or anxious. Yeah. So thank you for watching this video. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions and stuff like that, you can comment down below and I'll answer it in a video, or I'll just answer it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a great one, and I'll see you later. Bye. You want to say bye?
Bye.
All right.